Buddy, I'm back, and it's time for another review. We're reviewing The Darkness. The Darkness is about Jackie Estacado. He is a mob enforcer for his uncle, and what happens is at the age of 21, he inherits an ability which is passed down from father to son, basically, and it's the Darkness. And it's basically a power to summon like your worst nightmares or somebody's worst nightmares, and anything from like wings to tendrils to creatures. And the creatures are actually sentient; they can actually think for themselves, but they do follow instructions. Uh, Now, the first glimpse that you ever get of the Darkness is in Cyberforce right here. Number 25, and this is a shiny cover, so there's going to be some kind of reflection and glare on it, but this is the first glimpse that you get of the Darkness and the issues that's going to come out of it. And I believe this is a David Finch cover right here, an early David Finch cover. So if you don't have 25, go get that, because I believe this is an early David Finch cover, and because I know it's not Silvestri, because the style is different, so I believe it's David Finch. And yeah, this is actually a good book to get. This is like the first ever, like, any information that you get about the Darkness. Now, Jackie Estacado does not appear until Witchblade issue 10, and this is done by Michael Turner. Another good issue right there to get. As you can see, the Darkness is in the background over here. Let me get that for you right there so you can see. But as you can see, he's there in the background with his little creatures. And that was the first time we see Jackie Estacado is in Witchblade number 10. I believe this goes for like anywhere from like $10 to $20 on eBay. And then we have The Darkness, issue number 1. This is the variant issue that I have. There is another regular issue cover where it has him on the cover with the little monsters. I'll put a picture of it up on the side over here. But this is the actual first appearance. Now, Jackie Estacado appears in this issue, in issue 10 of Witchblade. But the Darkness does not appear until issue 1 of the Darkness, because that's when he officially becomes the Darkness. And what we're going to do is we're going to review issue number 1 of The Darkness right now. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Sit back and see for yourself if you like The Darkness. It was actually supposed to have been optioned for a TV show when they were doing the Witchblade TV series back in the day, but they kind of put it off. I know they are rebooting the series itself in 2019. They're going to be redoing The Darkness, so it'll start over in 2019. It is actually a good read, and if you've ever played the Darkness video game on PlayStation, I believe it was 3 or Xbox 360, you'll know that was like one of the best first-person games ever, because you had control of the tendrils, the monsters. I mean, like, that was like one game that I actually liked to play. So yeah, the Darkness actually had a video game that was really successful. So sit back and then relax and enjoy. And like I said, I'll see you guys in the next video. And let's watch the review of The Darkness issue 1. Late night New York, a man strolls to his car in a parking garage. Unbeknownst to him, a shadowy figure sits in a sports car on the phone. I don't know, Uncle Frankie. All I know is it looks like he's a guy that would steal from you. He does, huh? What the hell? Kill him. The lights of the car turn on, catching the man's attention. Tires squeal. The man only has time to say no. The car rockets towards him. Crunch! The sound the car makes as it crushes and pins the man against the wall. The look of shock upon his face and horror. The man screams, "Oh God, my legs! Jesus!" The shadowy figure gets out of the car. With gun in hand, The man's eyes widen as the shadowy figure aims the gun towards him. Blam, 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 blam. Gun smoke twirls in the air as the shadowy figure is revealed to be Jackie Estacado. He slowly replaces his gun back into its holster and walks away from the scene of the murder as nothing ever happened. Later, at Club Kaiser, Jackie walks in and asks the bartender for some milk. The bartender and him make small talk, and Jackie proceeds to ignore the bartender and slides up cozy next to a beautiful young lady. He asks the bartender to get the lovely lady a martini for him. The bartender sneers in the background as the woman proclaims, "How did you know what I was drinking?" And Jackie exclaims from the empty one in her hand, and she giggles and tells Jackie that her name is Shandy. They proceed to small talk, and Jackie asks her if she's a model or an actress, and she says yes. And Jackie proclaims, "Why don't we go back to my place? My Lamborghini is parked outside." As Shandy gets up to leave to go to the car, the bartender tells Jackie what his tab is and also warns him that it's against the law to take advantage of the mentally retarded. Jackie proclaims she's not mentally retarded. The bartender leans in and tells Jackie, "You just promised her a walk-on role on The Simpsons." Back at Jackie's, the two proceed to make out, unbeknownst to them that they are being watched through a mystical pool by two cloaked individuals. One asks, "Do you think he's too frivolous? He is a mob enforcer." And the other one proclaims, "He is the champion that we've been waiting for. He will turn 21 tomorrow night at midnight. When he comes of age, he will inherit power beyond his vilest nightmares. He has less than 24 hours of the life that he knows. We must ready him for the Angelus because we know they'll have plans for him." In another location, another figure watches Jackie and Shadi make out, and his servant proclaims, "Why don't you just kill him now before the darkness takes him?" And the individual describes, "I've waited 21 years for this. I can wait a little longer, because if I kill him when he becomes the darkness, that will mean the end of the darkness, and we'll have won." In Little Italy, the next day, Jackie goes to visit his uncle, who is on the phone, talking about the hit that Jackie had just committed last night. Turns out that the guy he killed was going to marry another mob boss's daughter. His uncle continues to yell on the phone and slams it down. He gets up to greet Jackie and tells him he's a sight for sore eyes, and proclaims that he was set up. Jackie begins to wonder why his friend is sweating so much and asks him a question. "It wasn't you, Mo, was it?" As Mo continues to plead his case that it wasn't him and that he always sweats like this, pow! Glass shatters and a grenade flies into the room where they're standing. In shock, the uncle proclaims, "What the hell?" Jackie grabs Mo and knees him in the groin and proceeds to fling him on top of the grenade. Mo screams, "No!" Mo lands on top of the grenade. Boom! As he laid on top of it, blood oozing from his body, he proclaims that he didn't rat out anybody. And Jackie proclaims, "It's good to know, and I'm sorry, no hard feelings." And Mo proclaims, "No hard feelings" with his dying breath and dies. Jackie's uncle is furious, and he proclaims that he wants the mob boss that called the hit upon him to be dead, face down in his pepperoni pizza. Now, get it done. Back at Jackie's, as he makes plans to take out the mob boss that put the hit on his uncle, he starts to hear a voice. "Jackie, your time, Jackie. It's your time, Jackie." Who the hell is this? Dark time. And all of a sudden, black ooze shoots out of Jackie's mouth and eyes, and he collapses to the floor in pain, screaming. Outside Jackie's door, armed men sit communicating, talking about, "We can hear him screaming." A voice on the other end tells him to get him out of there. Jackie, inside, writhing in pain with the ooze covering his body, screams. The voices tell him not to fight this, Jackie. You shouldn't fight back, Jackie. The door swings open with a kick, and they scream, "Find him!" Jackie looks up from the ground. "It's all yours, Jackie." In here, one of the guys screams, "Just let it happen, Jackie. It's your birthright." As one of the armed men help Jackie up off the floor, he tells him that we're here to help you. We got to get you out of here. And before he can say anything, one of the other armed men says, "Oh my God, they're here." And in the distance, glowing figures with angel wings stand in front of the men, swords drawn. One of the armed men screams into his walkie-talkie, "They're here, the Angelus is here." And before he can finish, he's cut in half. The Angelus begin to kill every man in the room, and the voice tells Jackie, "You don't have to die, Jackie. Just let it out, Jackie." Jackie sits confused and says, "Let what out? What do you mean?" "Anything you want, Jackie. Anything you want." As Jackie relaxes, the Angelus stop in shock. The voice tells Jackie, "But let the darkness out." As he does so, little monsters come out. Tendrils shoot from his body, stabbing the Angelus, killing them. The monsters jump on top of them, eating them, devouring them. As a wave of teeth and claws slash through the Angelus, feathers fall. Jackie proceeds to get up from the ground and walks through his apartment to find one of the men impaled by a sword, and the man asks him, "Can you help me?" Jackie says, "Don't be stupid. You're impaled by a sword." The man looks at Jackie and tells him, "You are the one. You are the one." The man proceeds to tell Jackie something else, but before he can finish, boom, his head is blown off. A man stands over Jackie with a shotgun and tells him not to get up and points it to his head. Jackie tells him, "You must be working for the other mob boss." And the hitman proclaims to tell Jackie, "Tell your fat uncle that I said hello," and points the gun to Jackie's head. Then Jackie hears the voices again. "Don't you forget, Jackie. Anything you want, Jackie. Just let it out." As the hitman pulls the trigger, boom! Jackie listens to the voice, and standing before the hitman no longer is Jackie, but something more. Monsters swirl around his legs, eyes glowing green, teeth gnashed out, ready to attack. The being begins to make a phone call, and on the other end, Vinny tells Jackie, We've been hit bad." The creatures swirl around the hitman, waiting for commands, smiling grimacely. Jackie asks, "Uncle Frankie?" They got him. And just then, blood splatters across Jackie's face as the creatures kill the hitman. Vinny proceeds to tell Jackie that his uncle's on the way to the hospital and it doesn't look good, and he thinks that we've lost the war. Jackie tells him we haven't lost yet. An hour later, in New Jersey, at the other mob boss's home, two of his henchmen sit outside the door as the mob boss proceeds to use the bathroom. As the mob boss uses the bathroom, he feels something. He looks down from his paper and notices black tendrils coming up through the toilet. They proceed to wrap themselves around his mouth, muzzling his voice. The guards outside don't hear a thing. They begin to cut into the mob boss. He's able to pull one of the tendrils away and screams, "Help! Help!" The screams alert the henchmen, and they proceed to kick in the door, only to find their boss ripped in half and pulled down deep into the toilet, with only his legs hanging out, covered in blood. Outside the gates, the tendrils come back to Jackie, and the voice in his head says, "Anything you want, Jackie. Didn't we say, Jackie?" Jackie simply replies, "Oh yeah." The voices tell Jackie, "You'll do fine, Jackie. Go a long way, Jackie. Darkness really likes you, Jackie. Lucky, lucky boy." It likes me, huh? Jackie says. Jackie asks, what is the darkness? The voice tells him, haven't you guessed, Jackie? You are the darkness.